Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Maps and Graps. I told you I was going to have a very special guest when I return, and as always, I deliver. I'm super excited. I have been wanting to have this conversation ever since circumstances changed a couple months ago. I'm super excited. We have, well, first of all, I'm your host, Lyric, but we have a very special guest. We have Mara Sadè on, formerly known as Jakara Jackson in NXT. Super excited to have this conversation. How are you?
I am doing amazing today. Thank you. How are you?
I'm well, can't complain. By the time everybody sees this, I'll be watching Beyonce. So really cool.
Okay. You going to the concert?
I am. I'm going to the July 4th show, so super excited.
Oh,
But you've been really busy. You recently came back from Paris. I think that was your first match back, like since coming off of, your 90 days. So Paris for fourth rope. You teamed up with Tiara James. The match still isn't on YouTube yet, but I think it'll be on YouTube soon for everybody to see it. But just talk about what that experience was like. Like you ended up in France. Like I will say that's a crazy way to make a comeback. By the way,
I
like
would say, I think
you
that's
know,
if you want to pop out, pop out. That's
for
definitely
real.
the motto for me. So, honestly, it was an amazing opportunity. And the fact that Paris was my first match back or in the ring was, I couldn't have plotted it out better myself. So, it was really fun. And I always wanted to go to Paris. So I checked that off the list. So I'm just really looking forward to the rest of this journey because I'm already going to Paris. Like, where am I going to see myself in a few more months? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. So fourth row. I've been following them for a while. I got to go to their show like while I was in Vegas during WrestleMania week. It's a really, really cool concept,
Yeah.
bridging wrestling and hip hop. So what was that conversation like, becoming a part of it? And also like, being able to wrestle for their show because they're still fairly new. And so being
Yeah.
able to have shows like, in different parts of the country is pretty dope. So, I mean, not different parts of the world is pretty dope. So, what was that conversation coming like when you were planning your return and honestly your relaunch into like the wrestling world?
So it seems like it was very much mutual on both sides, like the interest, because I have heard, especially during the WrestleMania season, they were out there, they did a show in Vegas, and that popped off. And they've had previous shows as well that have been really successful. And the fact that it is so fresh and to even be getting on that train is pretty cool because I do feel like they have a lot going on and doing big things clearly. And so, yeah, it definitely was. It wasn't expected. It just came about, and I think that was the cool thing. But like I said, I couldn't have plans for a better first match back in, or not back, but in the independents. And I love the concept of the culture and wrestling coming together because that show was lit. Paris was lit, and to be a part of it was amazing.
So you have basically relaunched your career. You have a new name, a new look, new goals. Um, Obviously, a lot goes into being a wrestler and basically building your presentation and like essentially who you want to be. So, like, after you got the call about the release and like you have to shift things around, like what's the thought process and kind of like building Mara Sadè, like specifically giving people something different, people who might not be familiar with you. What is that thought process like going through your mind of basically building your new self from scratch?
So, I think the beauty of it all is that I do get to recreate myself, and I'm obviously taking the things that I've learned and the aspects of me that have grown in my wrestling career period and just expanding on that. So it's been a cool process to be honest. And I'm a go-getter. When I say this, it's in my DNA for real. Like I'm always gonna be thinking of what I can do next or how I can represent myself and my brands really. And I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, if anything. And it's just a different niche, to be honest. I've always branded myself in a certain way. I've always been able to network and just, I mean, the universe opens up beautiful opportunities for me. And in retrospect, every year of my life, I feel like I've always elevated. So I don't feel like that's going to change as long as I keep on working and keep on thinking of how to mold this new like era of mine. But I think it's going great because now I'm free to do whatever the, excuse my language, I keep saying
go
this,
ahead. Yeah, no, you
I'm free to do whatever the fuck I want, and I love it. It's absolutely freeing, and I'm just really determined to show people, you know, what they missed out on and what I I don't even say what I could have been, because like I'm always going to do me and always going to be me and show who Mara Sadè is, which is bigger than life. You know, I like to consider myself a Renaissance woman slash just trendsetter, because I'm always like looking at things to be inspired by and recreating it for myself. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
I think that it's so fascinating because you actually started your wrestling career in WWE, which is its own system essentially, like with NXT, the main roster, so many other components. And now like you're experiencing like the indies and all of this for like the first time, and just like opening up like this larger world of wrestling outside of like that system. And so
Yeah.
um, what is that like? Like, because you're kind of like not just the wrestler, you're also your own. You're managing your brand, you're your own booker. You're doing all of these different things for yourself, trying to figure out, okay, do I want international experience? Like, what am I doing in the U.S.? Like, who should I be wrestling? And so, like, that's a lot of power to put in like your hands.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot of
completely different. So, what is that part been like for you?
To be honest, I'd say like the first day of getting the news of everything, of course, anxiety, you know, floods in, because you don't know what's to come. But again, like I've always been a person to sit down and plot like my plan. I write down my goals. I have these things put on paper tangibly so I can like really hone in on what it is that I want to do, because you can't do nothing without having a plan. And a dream ain't shit really until you like put it into motion and you start like putting in work behind it. So literally I think as time goes, and that's probably the comforting thing for me, is not everything is going to come overnight. Things take time. So like I said, as long as I'm working every day, doing everything in my power that I can do, I feel like the things I want are going to come to me. And so I've already gone international, but I'd love to do more of that. So it's just a matter of me putting the work out there so people could see. And you know, I just feel like my plan is to just be consistent, of course, and really put my best foot forward like I've always done throughout my entire career. And moving forward, I'm just going to keep doing me, doing it big, and keeping it moving.
As far as indies go, you've kind of like started off, I would say, with maybe the biggest fish in Masha Slamovic. July 6th, you have the JCW World Championship match coming up against Masha, who's held that belt, it feels like forever. You did like a really great mini documentary with JCW. So I mean, you went straight for the top. So talk about like how that came about. You're going to be wrestling somebody like Masha. I know that you got to dabble in TNA a little bit while you were in NXT, and so maybe you've probably been able to watch like what she's about. But this is your introduction really into like the indies, at least on the American front. So what do you want people to take away from Mara Sadè when they leave watching that match? Like what is the like the feelings, the emotions, like the thoughts that you're trying to put in everybody's mind when they walk out of watching that match?
I want them to see that Mara Sadè ain't a damn thing to play with. Like, ain't shit sweet over here for real. Like, I want
Period.
them to see that. I'm sorry, I'm passionate, But
No, real. No, I appreciate it. I think we should. I think more people should be like that. Talk your shit.
I agree. Because what do you care about? Like, what does this
Exactly.
mean to you? You feel me? But like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this for nothing. Like, I want to. Again, I feel a little redundant in saying this, but I'm gonna keep like putting in people's faces that I'm here to prove something to myself. I don't feel like I got to like show me and do me like I wanted to. And so this is my chance to do so. And like you said, Masha is somebody out there who, or out here, who literally is like on top of her game. She's held that that title for quite some time. And for me to come and, challenge her for it, like I said before, I'm here to get gold. Like I ain't here to play around. And so I want people to take away the fact that I'm a competitor and that I'm bringing me, and I want y'all to see that I'm going to give this my all and be the best out here because I still have so much untapped potential, and I want people to see that.
Do you have anything else that you've already like lined up that you can share? Like after like the Masha match, like any bookings, upcoming appearances, are just things that you want to do.
Yes, so I certainly do have a match in Colorado for IWC, so that'll be fun as well. And I also have some other things, but I don't quite want to let all
That's fair. That's fair.
the cookies out the cookie jar. But yes, big stuff, and I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised when I do pop out with this because I'm really big on. I like to walk the walk. I don't really like to talk the talk because everybody talks. I want to like step. You know what I'm saying? But I am releasing a video for my theme song because I did record that myself. I would have liked it to be rolled out with my debut match, but it was a very, very busy time. And people know that, like, in this business, things just happen. And so, yes, that is definitely a project that I'm working on. I cannot wait to get that popping out. Some surprise features. Like, I think I'm really excited for that project the most. But yes.
One thing that you mentioned during the mini doc is that lucha is something that you've been really excited to incorporate into your style. I think everybody's been talking about lucha lately between the Worlds Collide show, Grand Slam Mexico, from the bigger companies. In addition to Lucha Libre is one of the oldest art forms of wrestling
Yeah.
ever, and it's super
So,
important.
yes.
And so, where did your love for lucha really come from? And is some in Mexico a part of wrestling that you would like to potentially explore?
Yes. So people, I don't know if people know, but I'm from New Mexico, so I'm like right next door. But um, honestly, clearly the biggest Rey Mysterio. But for me, it's like they're superheroes. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
love that. And for me, it's like I really do respect. For me, getting in the ring, I want to beat a bitch down. Like I don't. I used to have this thing about like I don't want to do pretty things and all that stuff, but I just have this respect and love for Lucha Libre because it's so like it's entertaining, it's athletic, in which I'm so athletic that you know what I'm saying. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, basically. But it's beautiful to me. I love watching it. I love the presentation of it. It's just something that really interests me. And like I said, I like to sprinkle a little bit of that in there because it's beautiful. And I mean, I'm pretty sure people look at me and don't necessarily like see that, but we out here.
You're a very creative spirit, like between your art and obviously designing your own in theme music. Have you designed a mask for yourself yet?
Shit, girl, I will, but no, I haven't. Cause let's be real. Why would I? Why would I want to hide my face? You know, I got this face
That's
card. But not to say there's not beautiful lucha um, libres out there. I just feel like, shoot, let me cook.
You know, you don't gotta wear it the whole time. I feel like just having
You're
that
right.
would be like really cool.
You're right.
So circling back to that creative element, obviously in the background, like you have all your art. You talked about like, that was something that you picked up like while you were in Orlando, in the performance center. Um, how are you utilizing, I think, like that passion for art now that you have more control over your own character, and you're really more in control of your own career, and basically charting this new territory. So how does that passion for art and being creative really factor into what you're doing now?
So for me, I feel like I have this upper hand because let's be real, I don't feel like a lot of people are very creative. I feel
No.
like it is hard for people to tap into like them, and because there's a difference between being inspired and copying. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, and I think for me, like it really stuck that everything in wrestling's been done, to be honest. It's about how you put your own spin on it. So I just feel like I'm more of a um more of like a loner in a sense of that like I'm good on my own solitary. So in those moments I'm always like thinking of things, or whether it's on TV, in a movie, something that I can take and like put me on it, like put my own twist. And I feel like that makes up me, and that makes up people, period. Like we all have the similar experiences, but we all have this different like view. And when it comes to creating, I get kind of like super duper like anal about it because it's mine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And um, it's it's great to inspire, but it's just a difference when people take and whatnot. But with that being said, I take pride in the things that I've created, and again, that sets me apart from everybody else. Like me having hands on anything that I can when it comes to my creativity, whether it's my appearance, whether it's my delivery in the words, whether it's in the ring, whether it's on a canvas, whether it's in a booth, like I'm always going to put my own little like spice, and that's what makes it beautiful.
So was wrestling always like your original goal? Like I know that you did your tryout, you ended up in NXT, but like was because you are so multifaceted and you have so many different talents, was wrestling always what you wanted to do, or was it something that came for you later in life?
So no, absolutely not. Like I always wanted to do like modeling and like entertainment, period. In which I feel like this falls into entertainment. And what's
Absolutely.
crazy is that literally going to WWE helped me discover that I am very much like I had so much untapped potential. Like I was shook by the things that like I'm physically able to do. And I felt like leading up to that point, I was trying to find that thing for me because I did compete in like fitness competitions. I have been in movies. I have done like modeling, runway. I've done all that stuff. Speaking. I've done like a lot of things. But I definitely feel like I fell in love with this because it's everything for me. Like it's entertainment, whether it's in a backstage, or doing a promo, in-ring promo. It's also creative in the ring, like even just like the action. You know what I'm saying? It's everything, and I get to get dressed up and stunt on hoes. Excuse me.
No, no, that's what I like. No, go
I
ahead.
like
I like that.
like I love that. I love all of it. So
I,
I
I,
fell in love
yeah.
with it, and the more I learn, and the people that you meet, I love it because I've met people from all over the world. I've met like some icons. You know what I'm saying? Like I've
Mhm.
met so many people. Wrestling has taken me to places I could have never imagined. Like I'm falling in love with it every day, even like now. So
And I think also too, wrestling is one of those things like you'll never be like in you'll never learn everything there is to know about it. Like it's
no.
always something new. It's always somebody new to meet. It's always a new style to learn. Like even me, I grew up watching wrestling, like, but even like what you see on what was available on TV 10 years ago, there's so much more now. Like, like there's so much more. So it's constantly learning and growing.
Yes.
And so, like, when you are like learning more about wrestling, who do you watch? Like, who are the people that you're looking at? Like, oh, I want to be inspired, or these are the people that I study, and this is the style that I want to do. Like, as you're absorbing and growing, since wrestling wasn't that intentional goal, when you're like really like studying, who are those people, promotions, things that you're watching?
So clearly, you want to watch the best because I just believe like, why would you ever take advice or watch anybody who's not doing something you want to do? So, I definitely think that Mercedes Monet is somebody to look up to, especially just because she's doing the damn thing. Let's be real, okay? She's absolutely
Absolutely.
out here doing the damn thing, and I respect that. So I just see how she's grinding, and again, I see that, and I'm like, how do I do? Like, clearly, I'm doing my own thing, but like, she's definitely at the top of her game. You know what I'm saying? And she works hard as hell. She's all over the place, just doing her, putting her, like, making moments. But I also love old school stuff just because, like, I feel like it's such wrestling is a niche for real. Like,
Mhm.
it's a community, and like, it's so easy to just watch, and again, people start to do the same stuff, and like, entertainment wise, I don't feel like we all want to see the same thing. So I definitely like to look at like old school matches. And to be honest, who's a good example? Ricky Steamboat is great to watch. Like, I love that type of stuff. Also, I've been heavy on Japanese style. So like, watching Stardom for me has been on my TV. Um, Again, let's see. Hmm. Jacqueline is my all-time favorite, so I like to watch her just for like aggression because she was a bad bitch, but she also like she really like she had a lot of aggression in my opinion. And Jazz as well. Like, I want to be raw and real with it, and like they did that in their ways, but it's for me it was just it's entertaining to watch, and it's like it was giving real to me. So those are just a few.
No, I think that those are really great picks. And I also too, especially like I would say like since um being released like a few months ago at the same time as you see somebody like Mercedes showing up in CMLL in New Japan and in Austria and all these different places. And I think specifically like as a black woman at the beginning of their career, like what is that like to like see somebody like find so many different avenues of wrestling that are outside of like where you were? Like, does it feel like more opportunities are open for you? Like, does it open your mindset to like what your career could look like and things that you could potentially do in the future?
Most certainly, and I feel like her, especially, especially for us girls of color, like, um, she's definitely showing that those things are possible, and it's inspiring. Um, just because I feel like a few years ago, I don't know if, like, you know what I'm saying, this situation would be just because wrestling has changed so much in the span of me being like signed to now. And so I'm pretty thankful the fact that there are so many avenues to go down. And the fact that, again, I just feel like with, collaborations between promotions and whatnot, that's, it's a great thing to see these days. Because, again, there are opportunities for wrestlers to go to these different places and work these promotions and get themselves, like, I guess, open themselves up to bigger audiences. So I think it's a beautiful thing, and I love it. And she's, like I said, she's doing the damn thing, and she's showing people like myself and countless other girls that we can most certainly do it.
So you called yourself a gold digger. So now we're about
Goal.
gold digger, gold digger. Yes, gold. Uh, and now we're about like a little over halfway through the year. By the end of this year, what are your goals? Like short term goals? what are things that you would like to do in this stage of your career?
This stage of my career, I definitely want to be on the TV again. So by the end of the year, I expect to be on a TV. you know, I want to hold that belt. I belt gold, like a championship. I need that. Okay, I don't work these abs out for nothing. I need to put something shiny on them. But those are my goals. Those are my two major goals for real. I want to
Are
be on
you
TV, and I need me some gold. Okay.
are you interested in any like tours of like, in some of these places? You've been to Paris, obviously, so you've already started traveling.
Yes.
But as far as like, extended travel to some places, is there any place that you particularly like, whether it's a country or promotion, any place that you have your eye on?
Most certainly. I would love to do a tour in Mexico. I'd love to do a tour in Japan. I've never been to Canada. I'd love to even visit there one time. The sky is the limit for your girl. So honestly, wherever, I'm going to bring that work, period.
So your new debut song, your new theme song, is coming out. We'll hear it during the JCW show, right?
Most certainly.
Okay, great.
Yes. Hey, I'm excited. Yes.
I'm excited too. I think it's really cool when like people like really take ownership of like their characters and like what they're doing in wrestling, because I think a lot of times like you can either look at getting released or let go from a place as either a blessing or a curse. Like you can look at it as opportunity or you can see it as a death sentence. And so I think it's really cool when like people really take their career by the reins and be like, no, like I'm just getting started. Like you genuinely haven't even scratched the surface on like what you're about to do. So like I'm super excited. Um so on a personal level, what are you excited to do? Like, yeah, you can now, since you can do with whatever you want. Outside of wrestling, are there any projects that like you're excited about, that you're working on, and things that people should keep an eye on from you in the future?
So as far as right now, I'm more focused on my wrestling, but I've been in the studio. Your girl definitely might have a little EP coming, so I'd love people to keep their eye out for that. Um, I'm getting heavy in my art bag, so literally just I'm opening myself up to commissions in that sense, in which I love doing art. In my downtime, I am creating always, and so you can see a lot more of that from me, especially in the customization of clothing and shoes. So, yeah, website coming soon. Like everything I do, I'm doing it with intent. Um, I don't like to just, you can't do anything half-assed around here. You just can't. Like,
Yeah,
so a lot of rest. And I definitely want to
which is
see
important.
the world as well in just in a different light, not working necessarily, but vacations. You feel like like I want to see the world and chill and just have my cheeks out on a beach, just relaxing.
Rest is a huge part of it too. I think like of I think specifically as Black women, we expect people to like, yeah, you need to work 24/7 to get to where you want to go, which is like, it sounds great in theory, but like rest and recovery has to be a big part of that. So like that's
It's
super
big.
important. I think also too, like it's been really interesting these last couple of years. A lot of wrestlers have been getting into the art world. Like I've seen like people like launch like official collections through galleries and stuff like that. So like I love that people are tapping more into like that creative space. And so like hopefully we'll be able to see your stuff in a museum or something one day. Like I think that would be really cool.
Manifesting.
You know?
But yes, I love that. I absolutely love it because, like you just said, we wrestlers aren't just wrestlers, like we people for real, and
Absolutely.
people with talents, and I feel like that should be explored always. And again, nobody's like, when it comes to art, at least nobody's creating like the same thing. Like, so you're getting a taste of these different people in different ways, and I love me some art, so like it doesn't matter what form it's in. I think it's a beautiful thing that we tapping into all of that.
So, like, since you're talking a little bit about being in the booth, like, who do you listen to? Like, what do you listen to in the gym?
Yeah.
Like, when you're home, when you're creating, like, what's always kind of on your playlist? Like, what are you listening to?
How did I know you were gonna ask this question? I just felt it in my bones. I was like,
My
somebody's gonna
name
ask
is Lyric, so
facts. That's facts. That's facts. Right now I'm heavy on Kalani. That song "Folded" is like on
Nah,
replay.
it's like that. It's like that.
That song
It's
is
like
too
that.
good.
It's like
Like,
that.
and then the music video, girl,
It's like that.
please. So, Mariah Scientist has that song "Burning Blue," which has been on my playlist as well. I've been like heavy in my R&B bag lately because
Real.
I'm a vibey girl. Like, especially when I'm doing art or anything, I just want to I just want to chill. I want to vibe. I do like Young Thug. I'll bump that for sure. Who else lately? I'm trying to think. Like, this is one of my favorite questions because I love music. Music to me also falls into like the creative juices of things.
Absolutely.
But those are probably the two mains. And also Victoria Monet, Megan Thee Stallion goes hard. Lotto's
Period.
her bag too. Not gonna lie. Um, yeah, those are just a few. I have a very vast list of music that I love.
That's a strong list. That's a strong list. I love Megan, especially like
Yes.
since
She was
college.
just
Like,
on Love Island. Like
period.
she's doing it. She's everywhere too, and I love that about her. She loves her
Oh my gosh,
anime. Like
you're a Love Island fan?
yes.
I've never seen it, but like I feel like I know exactly what's happening. Like I can
Oh
watch
yeah.
it. I can watch it through the TL. Like it's nonstop. Like
It's
it's nonstop.
nonstop.
But I feel like once you lock in, you got to see it through. You know?
You have to, because it's like, okay, I know it's crazy, it's reality TV, but like it's so nonsense that I love it. Like especially because my mind's constantly working, like just thinking about other things that when I watch it, it's like mindless, and so it's entertaining.
I feel like too, especially like if you have like a lot going on, sometimes you really need like that mindless TV to like take your mind off of it. See, I'm still old school. I'm watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, child. Like that's like my reality TV.
Honestly, it's okay. That my girl Lash, that's her favorite show, and she be telling me about that show, but I'm just like, it's a great show. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a great show.
Shout out to Lash. I feel like that's like really for like the old heads. Like I've been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta since I was in middle school. I ain't had no business watching it either. So it's just like
It's a
like I feel like
very it's that reality TV.
absolutely. Like I feel like that very much so for the OGs. OGs, like not none of this new stuff on streaming back in the day when you had to have cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I feel like that's a really good high to leave it on. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad that we were able to have this conversation, and I'm so excited to see what you do going forward. Where can people find you on social media and any of your other platforms?
Of course. You can find me on the gram at It's Mara Sadè. You can find me on X at It's Mara Sadè. YouTube is also It's Mara Sadè. TikTok is Say Sadè. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. And everybody, as always, you can find me at Lyric Wrestling on Twitter, Instagram, and at Lyric Swinton on YouTube. But thank you once again for joining us for Maps and Graps. See you soon. And thanks for watching. Bye.